No matter where you go these days, it seems like environmentalists and industrialists are clashing over the appropriate use or preservation of wild lands and wildlife. Nowhere is this conflict more passionate than the northern fringes of the Sonoran Desert. Here in Phoenix, Arizona, the health resorts and cowtown mentality have given way to a massive population boom and its accompanying urban sprawl. The resulting land grab has created a growing controversy among its human inhabitants and a critical threat to the survival of its non-human neighbors. While the snakes, coyotes, javelina, and bears grab most of the headlines, the sheer losses in terms of numbers occur among the winged predators: hawks, eagles, falcons, and owls.
This bird got electrocuted.
We believe she was hit by a car. Some kids had been shooting at the nest, killing the parents, most of his siblings.
Every year by the hundreds, these magnificent creatures are killed in collisions with vehicles, fried or decapitated by power lines, bulldozed in vacant fields, or shot by careless or misguided individuals. Would you know what to do with an injured bird of prey you found lying on the side of the road? The place to take it would be Wild at Heart. It's a rescue group located in Cave Creek, Arizona, on a little over an acre of land, and it's the only center in its area that deals exclusively with birds of prey or raptors alone. This all-volunteer nonprofit organization is run by Bob and Sam Fox, a husband and wife team who have a heart for rehabilitating birds and then releasing them into the wild.
Owls are free again tonight, living for now in an artificial habitat. Towers built of hay bales on the Fort McDowell Indian Reservation. These were young birds found injured or abandoned around Arizona. Wild at Heart, a private nonprofit wildlife center, cared for them for months. They even had to teach the owls how to fly and catch live food. Wild at Heart relies on donations to keep up this kind of work.
Their doors and phones are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they not only help the birds to be able to survive in the wild after rehab, but they also spend time focusing on educating the public and protecting habitats.
He came in as a nestling. I pulled him out of a burrow down in Chandler. They're living underneath a sidewalk in a housing development right across from the school bus zone. And kids were throwing rocks at the birds, poking sticks down the tunnel. Adults were sticking their dogs on him. And when I pulled him out, he was about, like I say, about 4 or 5 days old, just a big white fluff ball, and his wing was already smashed. I think somebody got a stick down there and got onto him. So he can't fly well enough for release. And so he's been with us since he was a baby as an educational bird. He goes out and does programs and lets people know about the plight of the burrowing owls.
On their property, the foxes care for about 90 raptors at a time that live in dividable structures made of wood frames and hard plastic mesh. Some birds are full-time residents because they will never be well enough to be released into the wild. However, Wild at Heart has had major success with a particular type of bird known as the burrowing owl. Burrowing owls look like little owls on stilts and often grow to be about 10 inches in height. Their diet consists of small rodents and insects, and they get their name from the nests which they make underground in abandoned rodent tunnels. Burrowing owls are endangered in Arizona because of the heavy development that has been occurring in the deserts. When a construction company begins building on their land, the young owls that are still in their nests suffocate from being buried alive. Bob and Sam Fox have been working hard to be able to release displaced burrowing owls into environments where they would normally live. The place that they have had released most recently is at Reach 11. Reach 11 is a strip of land in North Scottsdale that extends along the 101 freeway near Tatum Road. It has been landscaped and is used like a park or recreational area, but has also become the home to dozens of burrowing owl families. Through the efforts of Wild at Heart and other partners, these rescued birds have been provided with artificial habitats. A man-made burrow consists of a 5-gallon plastic bucket and about 12 feet of flexible plastic drain pipe. The burrow is located 4 feet under the surface, which aids in temperature regulation. 6 feet from the entrance, there is a right angle bend in the pipe to block light and make it more difficult for predators to enter. The first 5 feet of the entrance is enforced with hard plastic tubing to keep dogs from trying to dig up the burrow.
What are their natural predators? In other words, what might come in here and catch some burrowing owl and eat it?
The one thing burrowing owls do not like are dogs.
Okay.
And coyotes is part of the equation also, but dogs are really more of a problem.
A tent is placed over 4 burrow openings that lead to the underground shelters. After a certain amount of time, the tent is removed and the owls are free to live a short distance away from their burrows, but they usually stay fairly close to the original burrow site. They end up creating a family of birds called a colony, which continuously expands. As the owls migrate through Arizona, they are on the lookout for new burrow locations. Reach 11 is often chosen by owls in the wild as their natural habitat. The importance of Reach 11 keeps growing as more owls accumulate and make new colonies. The Burrowing Owl Project installed about 100 burrows in 2002, and they expect to double that number by 2003. Not only are these birds of prey professionals saving the lives of homeless birds, they are also making it possible for the public to see how the owls are doing firsthand.